All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Socially Unacceptable But Sober podcast. My name is Dino. I am an alcoholic.
Jonathan, I'm an alcoholic.
Mad alcoholic.
Here we go. What's up, guys? What's up?
What's up, brother? How are you doing?
I love that you point at the side.
I point.
Yeah, I love it.
Read
I
it.
do. I love
Read it. Our first autograph. Joey.
I told, I said, Lori, you got to come sign that wall.
She's gotta. Yeah.
She will one day.
Yeah, definitely. I was listening to her episode again this morning. I listened to the full gratitude one, and then no, not gratitude.
Listen to number 2.
Number 2, yeah, sobriety.
Number 2.
It was good, man. I was getting a little choked up towards the end. I was actually listening to your story again. I was like, you're talking about the 19-cent thing of ramen. What a difference that could make in people's life.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think we forget what an impact these things have in people's lives. Yeah.
It's funny you should say that because that has something to do with my topic tonight.
Well, he's so anxious. He saw that.
So
He didn't
anxious.
even have a
I'm like,
fucking
oh, man.
topic. Now he's anxious.
I'm like, we're already on it.
You're
So
way ahead of the game, bro.
I am.
You didn't read this thing.
I know. No, I'm gonna get to it. Hey guys, good to be here again. Remember, like, share, subscribe, click, comment, all that good stuff. My man Jonathan's gonna tell you how to do that.
Hell yeah, brother. So we are on Instagram at Subs Podcast 1. We're on YouTube at Subs Podcast. We're on TikTok, subs.podcast1. Our email is subspodcast1@gmail.com. We're on all the streaming platforms for your podcast. So that's where you can hit us up at.
Beautiful.
And we got some comments to
I
run
love
through.
it.
We got a lot of hits last one. So we got a lot of comments. I'm just going to rattle them off.
Let's say it again. Like, keep commenting. We
Hell
wish
yeah.
we can read all the comments. I would love to take the time to read all the comments. It's just we don't have the time to do that. We'd be here for hours and hours and hours. But we do appreciate all the comments.
Shut it down.
Yeah, that's all. Go ahead, John. Wrap them up.
All right. So Alyssa D said, this one hit. Great job on this. Get Matt a booster seat so we can hear him on the mic, though.
Fuck you, Hammer.
Smiley
I know
face, hammer,
exactly
hammer,
who
hammer.
that was.
Luis said, amazing work, guys.
Oh, yes.
Luis.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
he left me a voicemail. He was like, yo, listen, because he works third shift now. So this is his meeting when he can't make one.
Oh, no shit.
Luis,
Luis, yeah,
He
Luis.
left me a good thank you, Luis, man. We love you. We miss you, bro. We miss you.
Hell yeah, we do miss you. Kaylee Snyder said, great episode. Johnez said, Matt C., stop hating on Jonathan. I like that one.
What was that?
I don't know, John Inez.
Oh, that's one of my oldest friends in the world.
Fuck
you, John.
Yeah.
This kid gotta get picked on.
No.
Yo.
Joey, nice job, guys. Eric, amazing podcast. Camellia said, life is all about gratitude. Jason's World Now, great episode, great show. Candace Rivera, great show, great job, Charlie.
Rivera.
Sorry, whatever.
fuck?
It's all one. Yeah, you read that. Roy Bowers, early and often I was taught gratitude is an action word. Show me, don't tell me. Manny, wow, I got a pretty good. Awesome. Vicky, anything after that? Keep it moving. Georgianne said, good one, stuck in the couch with my foot up, listened in, got the message. Grateful I've learned to grow in grace. Dana Fusco got a lot of comments in here. Somebody might just walk in the meeting because of this. That dude is whacked, kind of talking about the guy that was giving you grief about doing the podcast.
Oh.
And a bunch more from Dana. Thank you, man. And that's
My little buddy. I've known him forever, too.
no kidding. Okay. Gratitude is the way. Simple to find. I would say not always easy, but it's as difficult as we make it.
True story.
True story. And that's it for the YouTube commentos.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you
Hell
so
yeah.
much.
Thank you, guys.
The feedback, the comments, I can't speak for these guys, but I'm pretty sure that they would relate with when I say I'm like beyond grateful for people listening, people getting a message. Hopefully we're reaching people that don't reach out, don't go to meetings, are really sure. If you are in any way, shape, or form looking for any kind of help and you're worried about walking into a group of people that you don't know and you're having a hard time, reach out to us. If you need some help, we got guys nationwide.
Did Alyssa's comment say something about like even if you're just curious? Was that in there?
Let me check it out, buddy.
Someone posted on my page.
Yeah, that was on Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah, that was
so
on
someone-
Facebook.
I don't even know who the fuck it was though.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Anyway, they said, you know, even if you're in recovery, this is great. But even if you're just curious, if you don't even know what we're doing,
Yeah.
you know, you don't need to be a drug addict or alcoholic for any of this stuff to be utilized in
Right.
your life.
This is a program of living that we've
Program of change.
right here.
That's right. It's just a program of change.
Yeah.
Designed for a better way of living.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. And it's pretty simple once you really start working it, man. It's pretty simple. So tonight we have a topic. Nobody knows what it is but me, because it's mine. And we will get to the one-time bro segment, which I enjoy. A lot of people respond with that. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, yeah. I like doing it. It just, they're funny. It always reminds me of what a dirtbag I was out there and how good it is now. So tonight's topic is going to be being of service.
Oh, shit.
That's what it's going to be. You know, when I first came back into this sobriety, I realized that for a lot of years, all of the years of coming in and out, all I did was take. That's all I did. I just didn't know about the giving back part and being a foot service and being a foot soldier, carrying that message to like what we're doing now. This is a part of service. Sure. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything about that. And it was years into the sobriety that I started realizing that everything I do can be of service to somebody as long as I'm doing it the right way, as long as I'm doing the next right thing, you know? And it was like 2.5 years later, I spoke for you at one of the places up on Watertown Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
All right? You know how you get 15 sponsees every night. Every time you speak, you get, can I get your number? I want you my sponsee. And you say yes to everybody because you know nobody's calling you, right? So this one guy called me once, and that was the last time I heard from him. 3 years later, I'm in Thomason and at the Cumberland Farms, and this school goes, hey, is your name Dino? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, you probably don't remember me. He was like, I was at this place 3 years ago when you came in and spoke. He's like, dude, I got to tell you, man. He was like, your story, your message changed my life that night. He was like, I started doing things. I was reading literature. I was hitting mine. Everything that you said, he was like, I still do to this day.
Wow.
He was like, and I just got 3 years sober.
Holy shit.
Dude,
wow.
and I was just like, I got hot, like sweating, man. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like I knew being of service was something that you had to do and you should want to do it and all that stuff. But I had no idea the impact that we can make without even knowing it. Without even knowing it. So last week we talked about living like your mother's always behind you or something like that, to that effect.
Depending on what you're doing.
Depending on what you're doing, exactly. So yeah, so and another friend of ours, Charlie, old school Charlie, would say, I don't do anything that I wouldn't want put on the front page of the Waterbury Republican. You know what I mean? And those things stick with me like hardcore. And that's the way I want to be on a regular basis out in the world. Now, after I started, you know, being of service in our meetings and all that stuff, I started realizing that it's not just in this one particular area. Right. It's everywhere, no matter where I go. You know what I mean? And it became so simple as just saying good morning to somebody. You know what I mean? Especially in a convenience store. You know, they're like, just $25.99.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And me and this guy at the convenience store near my house, we have this thing now, and he knows exactly what I'm going to say, but he still asks me every single morning. He's like, how are you doing today? And I go, brother, I ain't never had it so good, man. If it got any better, it'd be a crime. They lock me up for it. People don't have no idea how good they actually have it. And then we kick it for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But it's like, this dude looking forward for me to come in like every day. And it's just like, man, if that's
you don't see it nowhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being of service, man, that's where it's at for me. And, you know, I always think of what I've gotten from other people, the service that was done for me, to me. And, you know, like people just bending over backwards. A lot of people don't notice. In this sobriety, I must have moved 5, 7, 8 times. I don't know. And every single time it's like, damn, I got to move now and I got to move. And then, boom, people are right. Oh, I'll help you. I got a truck. We'll get there. It's just like, you never have to like, look, I need an addict thing. We're doing it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I don't care what it is, man, because I've given a life beyond my wildest dreams. I can never pay back the blessings that I've gotten. I can never, I couldn't even imagine the life I have today. I couldn't even hallucinated it. So I can never pay back. So I am constantly trying to do whatever it takes to make somebody else feel a little bit better, help somebody else out a little bit more, hold doors open. I'm a big door holder guy. You know what I mean? I hold doors.
It goes a long way, man.
At first, I used to be mad if somebody didn't say thank you. I'm like, no problem. You're welcome, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, I still get that way if you let somebody go in the car and they don't give you the wave. That shit still gets me mad. I can't even lie.
But that has gotten a lot less. Listen, man, not everybody's me. Not everybody thinks the way I think, man. It's just is what it is. I'm supposed to just be holding doors, man. Yeah. I'm not here. Like we said, I'm not here for a pat on the back anymore. It used to be I wanted to pat on the back. So yeah, man, service to others, being of service, man. You know what I mean?
You talked about moving, and we got a story too with being of service. Like one of the biggest things when I was actually in detox, man, part of leading up to that was us moving out of one house to another house. And I went to detox like that week that we were supposed to move. So here's my wife by herself with a house that we got to move into another house. And who do you think shows up? All the dudes in the rooms. Moved from one house to another. By the time I got out of detox, all my shit was in there. They helped out Ashley. They did all this stuff. And that was so huge to me. So at those moments of weakness and early recovery, when I was like, fuck this, man, I could walk down to the liquor store. I was like, no, I can't do that to these. Look what these guys did for me. Yeah. Look at what and they didn't ask me for money. They didn't ask to go out to, and they didn't ask for anything. Dude.
What do you need?
Yeah. What do you need?
What can I do for you, man? Whatever I can do. And you said it last week, and I listened to it today too. I do a lot of driving, so I try not to listen to as much music as I used to, because I'll listen to death metal all day long. And we talked about how that will change my attitude during the day, and how, sorry, John, I started listening to country music, you know what I mean? And it actually mellowed me out, man. And I used to always be closed-minded to that. I used to be really closed-minded to the music thing. Like, I used to say that this death hardcore type of shit used to mellow me out. Yeah, mellows me out.
I used to go to sleep to that shit.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It doesn't.
Stimulates.
It makes me raw. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I am never gonna stop listening to it. It's in my veins. It's my go-to. But I changed the country music. It mellowed me out.
Well, let me clarify that a little bit. All right, Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know if you would consider CCR good stuff.
CCR, yeah. I mean, I'll listen to anything now. I'll listen to anything. If I don't like it, I just swipe.
Look, I tried to talk. He's got a vendetta out against me this episode.
For country.
No, he's got a vendetta.
There's some new good ones. Focus. So what I ended up doing was starting to listen to our stuff and other recovery-based podcasts and just other things other than music. Why did I bring this up?
You said you were listening to the Sun from last week.
It doesn't cost anything to be nice. That's right. You said it in last week's podcast. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn,
Matt. It doesn't cost anything to be nice.
I got that from a country song.
Even to me.
I got that from a country song.
Good.
I love you, buddy.
Live it. Live it.
You know that.
Live it. Love it. Like it. So yeah, man, it costs nothing to be nice. It does take energy to not be nice. It does. It takes a lot of energy. I remember being young and they're like, you use less muscles from smiling than you do for frowning. And I'm like, whatever, dude. But it's true. It's so true, man. Like I just constantly get reminded how closed my mind actually is to a lot of things, man. But the service work, man, like, I don't live in Waterbury, Connecticut anymore. But when I did, every off-ramp, on-ramp, stoplight, somebody's asking for money. They got the signs out there. And I'm not giving anybody any money. I'm just not. I'm not going to be the nail in that coffin. You know what I mean? But I'll sit and talk with you for a while. Mm-hmm. I will sit and talk with you for a while because I understand what you're going through, man. I might not have been a panhandler, but I understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I'll sit and talk with you for a little while, man. You know what I mean? And the more I do that, there used to be this kid, Max, walked from Vermont to Waterbury, hitchhiking to Panhandle and Waterbury. He got caught out here bad, bro. The kid was an amazing artist. You probably seen him, long dreadlocks all the time, sleeping. All right. So I used to talk to him all the time, and I was having meetings up at my house when the pandemic came out and stuff like that. So yeah, I was having meetings at my house, and I would invite him up, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about coming, man. I'm serious." And he never made it. I heard he died. You know what I mean? I heard through other panhandlers that he died, and but I never not talked to these people. You know what I mean? Just so you know, you know how we talk to people. Like, I'm not gonna stroke your ego. I'm not gonna pat you on the back. We're gonna get down to the real reason why you're sitting here panhandling, bro. You know what I mean? Because people will be like, "Oh, I'm homeless because I lost my job because my wife kicked me out," and I'm like, "Okay, let's keep going. Let's just go back a little bit more further. Okay, now let's go back a little bit further. Oh, so you were drinking a lot. Oh, okay. So now we're getting to the real reason why you're actually here, because we're made up of choices. We chose to be here." You know what I mean? So I would sit and talk to them. They definitely did not like a lot of things that I said, but that's being of service, man, because I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. I'm here to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? You might not like it, but you still need to hear it.
Yeah.
You still need to hear it.
And service comes in all forms, man. I
Absolutely.
remember one of the best commitments I had was, you know, the commitment of making coffee, man. I didn't know why I was making coffee. I was nervous about it. But I got to meet all these guys, you know, before a meeting happened. I got to feel some of that fellowship and like get to know you on a first name basis. And once people come into the rooms and they know your name, and it makes you feel like, oh shit, like I'm a part of this, you know? And then I've told the story, you know, Harry was big in service, and like if we could help just anybody out in the world, you know? And I think that's, you know, it goes so far, you know, you never know what kind of impact that can have.
You never know, dude.
On somebody's life.
And you might never know.
You might, and that's fine. Man.
What if I wasn't at that gas station at Cumberland Farms of Thomaston that day?
Yeah.
I would have never known, which is fine.
3
I don't
years,
need to know.
yeah.
But 3 years later, we bump into this cat.
They call those God winks, you know?
Dude, it blew me out of the water.
Yeah, that's a sign
Out
that
of
you're
the
doing the
water.
right fucking thing.
Never know the ripple. That's why I always talk
I
about
couldn't
the
believe
ripple.
it. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. It blew me. I was hot, dude. I was literally like warm with the presence, man. That's what I call it. The presence. That's the feeling I get. I know why it's happening. I know why I'm here, man. You know what I mean? I have a purpose today.
Yeah.
And that purpose is to stay sober and be helpful, be of service. You know what I mean? And I take that to heart, man, you know? Another episode we were talking about, you were talking about how you were new in sobriety and you were driving past people that were having car problems and it was raining.
You weren't here again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, but why? Wait, why the fuck we gotta help? We're in a nice warm car, you know what I mean?
It's
and
not
it's like,
raining
dude,
outside,
I
right?
understand. I totally get it. But today, if I can't, let's say it's on the other side of the highway, I can't just stop my truck and go to the other side of the highway, but I'll say a prayer for that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little song, man.
You know, we did this the other day. We there's a place on Watertown Avenue. I don't know, Nancy's Treasure or something like that. It's the store. They got deals every day, you know, $8 a basket. And it's all return stuff or Amazon stuff. And we were there and we were leaving one day. And I could tell this woman was struggling again with the car. And the guy, the owner's out there trying to help her with the car. And I go up there. I was like, you know, I got to help this woman out. And I was like, hey, you know, what's going on? Oh, my lights on, the battery's dead, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, let me see if I can help you. I couldn't help her at the moment, but I was like, you know what, lady, I live right down the road.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back. I'll help you out. It was raining. She had 2 kids with her. And I was like, you know, fuck, I go ahead, get the jumper pack back in there. Oh, thank you so much. You know, and it was like, fuck, man. You know, like, kids got home, you know, that could be a huge hiccup. And that lady could be staying there waiting an hour for a tow truck to come. It's just things like that, you know, and it goes such a distance, you know, and maybe later that day or the next day, that woman does something nice for somebody else, you know, and it just pays it forward.
That's what you hope.
This world needs that, bro. Yeah. This world needs it, you know. It's a funny story. I was like 2.5, 3 years sober, and I'm on 84 going towards Danbury, where Route 8, right? I see a lady walking with 2 kids. One's in a car seat. She's holding it. There's no breakdown lane. I mean, everybody's crossing over there. I'm like, holy shit. And it was raining. So I pull over. I was with somebody else. And I said, we got to get them off the highway. This is insanity. And she get her in the car. She proceeds to tell me how husband, boyfriend, whatever it was, literally opened the door, kicked her out of the car, threw the baby out of the car in the car seat, and like kicked the other kid out of the car. I'm like, Jesus, man, where do you need to go? Blah, 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 blah. We get her where she got to go. She's like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know how long ago it was later. I see her with a guy, same kids. I'm not going to forget this girl. I'm not going to forget the kids. Some funny reason I can never forget a face. I might forget your name, but I'll never forget your face. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm the one, remember? She's like, I don't know you. Get the hell away. She knew.
was the dude.
It was the dude. You know that I was like, you this fucking bitch. How dare she? Blah, blah, blah. I was so mad and resentful towards her. And I was like, I'm never going to pick nobody up out of the highway again. And the girl I was with said, didn't you just do it because it was the thing to do? And I'm like, damn it, man. I want a pat on the back, but we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So the more I do service work, the more I am a foot soldier, the more I want to help people, the less I want recognition for it, the less I want to, I don't care anymore. I just want to do that stuff because I've gotten so much. So yeah, life is amazing. As a direct result of a lot of things, service work is one of them.
Yeah. Service work is a big piece, and we were just having the conversation with Matt here about the the trip that we took, the little baby moon to Punta Cana, and Matt just shows up, shovels the driveway, gets my dad out, and it would be nice if he appreciated, but we definitely appreciate it, and it's things like that that make me feel okay that I work a half hour, 45 minutes away. Because I know you guys are around the area. I know that you guys will come through if I need anything or if anything goes down. And that's a great feeling, And I think service can translate in so many different ways, right? Like sometimes just sharing what you're going through and being able to share how you got through it, like Joe says.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
You gotta, if you come here with a problem, to talk about how you got through it. So
Right.
like what happened?
Right.
What was the end result of that? How did you get through it? Because
That is service work.
that is huge service work, man. 'Cause,
huge.
you never know when it's going to be your time to go through these things, to have some adversity in your life.
Where would we be if people didn't do that in the meetings and in person? Where would we be? It was one of my first outside meetings from the rehab I was with, and the guy sharing, it was a speaker, and he shared about how his father just died. He was like, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm a little emotional. My father just passed away today. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But because of his service work, that changed a lot in my mind. It opened up my mind about a lot of things too, because I got a dad, I got a mom, I got a lot of things going on. Yeah, I might not be talking to them. They might not want nothing to do with me, but sooner or later, I'm going to have to deal with some real life shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because of this guy, this one guy at this one particular moment, I was like, all right, so this is what I have to do when shit goes down. I got to come here. I got to talk about it. I got to pick up the phone. I got to do something different, and that helped me get into the no matter what club. Does not matter what comes in my life, man. It does not matter. Does not matter. That guy helped me out a lot, man.
Yeah.
That guy. And a lot of guys like him, like Joey.
And that's the thing. Like you can, when you're going through some shit yourself, what we talked about this last week is, if things are starting to get tough and things are getting too real for you and shit's going sideways, get outside yourself, man, and do some service. Help somebody else out, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I talk to somebody else about what they're going through or what problems they have in their life. And I'm like, oh shit, my shit's not really, that big of a deal, and even, a lot of people, sometimes they don't even want the solution right away. They just want somebody to listen.
That's
yeah,
it.
Just listen.
That's it, man. That's it.
Some shit.
Some people actually hate that when you come with a solution right away.
Yeah.
They're just like, dude, I just need you to listen to me, man. You're always coming at me with solutions. And you're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Sometimes
I'm
it's
always
true.
ready to be like, this is what you got to do. Maybe shut the fuck up and let them talk a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Let them get the weight off,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's service work, man. No doubt about it, man. And I don't say no to it. I don't say no to this thing. It's given me a life beyond my wildest dreams. I'll never be able to pay back what it's given me. So I owe big time.
And that's what they say in the literature, man. The therapeutic value of one alcoholic helping another is unparalleled, man. And you can't keep this unless you give it away. Right? And you've made a good point, man. Where would we be if I got sober, I got what I needed, and then I'm out?
Yeah.
I'm out to live my great life, you know? And that's like, you know, I appreciate the regulars at our Wednesday night show, you know, because those guys, you know, some of them got other things going on. They don't need to be there, but they do, because, you know, they're there to open the door and make sure that people got a place to go, you know. And I love seeing
They're
whole...
there to make sure somebody's got somewhere to go. They're there to make sure that somebody got a nice hot cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee maker. Like you talked about that coffee maker. That coffee maker position is very important. It ain't about the coffee.
Not at all.
It's not about the coffee and the cookies and all that stuff. It's about that guy that walks in.
I don't even need to be here today.
Yeah. Yeah. You can be here though. You can
No,
be
I
here.
can't. You
So
motherfuckers are like you're on crack. I can't get into work.
Thanks, Red Balls. So yeah, that guy walks in with a nice warm cup of coffee, still a little shaky. That a cup of coffee is a social lubricant. You can literally talk over a cup of coffee. You do it constantly. All right, what do you got? What do you got?
I got nothing.
Come on, bro. I know you know about service, bro.
Yeah, you know about service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think that I always say this to newcomers a lot, because a newcomer is the last person on the block that thinks they have something to offer.
Hey.
And I always used to hear it said back in the day, the guy with one day can help the guy with no day,
Exactly.
right? And I think that, like, you were real lucky that you were able to attach yourself to the service work that was given to you to help her when you were away.
Yeah, that was...
In my beginnings, I was still way too selfish. I would have taken that for granted. You understand? You allowed it to propel you into this thing. For me, it would have worked the opposite, because I wasn't ready for that. I was still way too selfish.
Pride, ego.
That's when, you know,
I ain't asking nobody for help.
when you're so full of self, you don't notice those things. So, you know, that's why I think that if newcomers could be like strangled and made to do service right
They'd all
off
be
the,
walking around with black eyes.
but they might
Yeah.
get into this a little easier.
Yeah.
You understand? To feel the reward, that warm feeling when that guy walked up to you, you can't compare that. To know that you genuinely helped somebody, not only did you help them, but you changed the course of their life. And here's the thing: even if you changed his life for a day, it matters.
Absolutely.
Because
That stays with them.
There's been so many times I've run into people and they're like, "Oh man, that shit you said, 10 years ago, I didn't forget it. I might not be doing good, but I didn't forget it."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I can remember so many times in and out thinking, I'm not learning shit. I never learned anything. But the more I stuck around, the more those things could begin to present themselves. So, I think that one of the biggest acts of service in our world, and then I'm going to bring that into something else. How many people do you know, they come in, they show up for a while, they get their life together, they get sober, and then they don't come back?
Lots.
It doesn't mean that they don't go drink,
Right.
but they just get consumed with their life.
Right.
I got a problem with that, because the newcomer, the guy that's on the fence, doesn't know that this is real. Maybe he's going to see you say, man, that guy got sober.
Yeah.
Maybe I could too.
Yeah.
And that sounds like, some after school special shit. But at the end of the day, that's really what it is, man. It's just the you're leading by example. I get to see what you do. I got a chance to follow that.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And, I think that for me, what made a huge difference in service was to take it beyond the rooms. It wasn't about, okay, I'm one alcoholic, I'm going to try to help another out. It's I'm a human being. I want to help another human being.
Exactly.
So I got to carry it from where I learned it and bring it into my world.
Exactly.
Right? It's easy to say, man, I'm going to do these nice things over here in this nice little compartment. But I'm going to shit all over the rest of my life.
Right.
You know, and I can bring it right back. I said this a while ago. It's easy for me to treat my friends good, to treat strangers good, but then I'm gonna go home and maybe not treat my wife so good. Maybe not know how to be good to those that are closest to me.
I understand that.
So
I get that.
There's a lot of times, man, that they used to say, you come to this thing that we do, and you're a drunken horse thief, and you take away the liquor. If you don't work on yourself, you're still a horse thief.
That's a true story.
I needed
Nothing
to
changes.
start to work on myself. I remember in the beginning, man, being way too sensitive. Someone wants to tell me about myself. I don't want to hear it.
Did you, in this sobriety, in the beginning of this sobriety?
Probably not this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like after a while, it's like, I got nothing to say. You're right, man. You know what I mean? I can't fight this anymore. You know what I mean? I can't.
I gave all, a friend of mine always used to say, you can see when someone's new, they still got a little bounce in their step. There was no more bounce.
Nah.
I showed up here and I was done.
Done.
I was done.
Dunsky.
Part of. Go ahead, sorry.
You need to be that done to be willing to receive it.
Yeah.
I think.
And your done is up to you.
Yeah.
Your done is up to you. Because, people will be like, I was never got that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand. But then again, I used to not be as bad as I got. Right. so how do we, what do I say to you?
I was talking about this with somebody else, like the imposter syndrome. Like this person was like, well, do I really fit in here? Do I really belong? Like, I never lost a job. I never had a DWI. I never
Still
had
got a
business.
house.
Yeah, I still have a job, and all this stuff. And I was like, you don't have to. Right. Like that doesn't, that's nowhere in the literature. There's no requirement to be in recovery that says you have to lose X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Don't let it get that far. Listen to stories of people like us that it has gone that way, and know that if it sounds like a good idea again, all right, well, I can, that never can be an again, can be.
I thought about that for a long time. What can I say to maybe change their, and what I usually do is, and I love our literature and I love our first step when it talks about look back, right? Because here we are right now, right? You still got a lot of stuff. Your wife's still around, but let's go a little bit further back and remember when none of that stuff was a problem. Remember when none of that stuff was an issue. Now you're having little arguments here. Now you're not going to work on time. Now your people are pulling you up at your job. Yeah, you never got as bad as me, but you're on your way. If you look at way before you got to this point, you were okay over here. But you see how it's progressively getting worse? And now you're at a point where I was at one point, but I didn't listen to the guy talking to me either. And I thought, yeah, you're right, but I'll be all right now that I know, okay, you're right. And I would just continue to do, nothing changes if nothing changes. And now I have surpassed, no more house, no more, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
We talked about that when you first came in as a kid, and the old timers were telling you, you got a long way to go. And you're like, I'm never going to be like this.
You guys are losers, man. What are you kidding me? Why? Don't talk to me. You don't know me, bro. You guys are sleeping on the train track, you fucking loser. I got nothing to do with you, bro. Don't talk to me like that. Early alcoholic said, this is going to get pretty bad for you, kid. And every time I come back, he'd be like, any better out there yet? And I'm like, I hate this guy. Shut up, man. I hate this guy. Before he passed, in the sobriety before this one, I had a lot of sobrieties. We actually got pretty, not close, but like, I wasn't hating this guy anymore, man. He was always right. He was always right, man. And I'll never forget him when I was 17 saying, this is going to get pretty bad for you, kid. He already knew it. He could see it in my attitude. He could hear it in the stuff I was talking. He could see it just in my aura.
Everything.
Said, you guys are losers. Oh, you think we're losers? Oh, okay. All right. Well, go out there, smoke some more crack.
You're one of us. You don't know it yet.
I just don't know it yet.
I used to, another part of service that I like is I remember sitting in rehabs and treatment centers, and these guys would come in, bring him, a meeting in and tell me about this disease of which I suffered, and I was like, yeah, all right, all right. But as the treatments went on and as the experiences got worse and worse, I remember one of the changes was like, I envied this guy so much because he came in, he shared his shit, and then he left. He didn't have to drink the shitty decaffeinated coffee I had, and I didn't have to be told when to go to bed and when to wake up and what group to go to. And I was like, that freedom was like so like desirable for me. And then now when I do it, like when we go into hospitals and institutions and stuff, I know how those guys are feeling, and I share that, dude, I remember sitting there and like, fuck this guy, he gets to go home, and and sometimes they come in with their Dunkin' Donuts,
or a Red Bull,
and you're like, fuck, I don't get any of that in here, but it's cool, man, when you're on the other side of that, it really does feel good to go in there, to share it, to see the people that are, some are listening, some are just got a lot more fire to be burned out in them. So yeah, I mean, that was a big part for my recovery, was being able to be that guy that goes back in and says, shares a little bit. And I think that's frontline work, that's frontline service.
Absolutely.
What better place to get them,
You were saying the new guy that comes in with one day, and you know how everybody's always like, you're the most important guy in the room. And I like that because, you might not think you have something to offer, but you gave everybody the biggest pearl tonight, man. The biggest pearl tonight. You're still looking down. I don't know what I'm doing. Man, dude, I don't want that no more. I don't want that. Thank you for being of service to me. And
just like, power of example.
Yes. We're all over the place.
I'm thinking about some people do service so they can get on a soapbox. They want to bring it back to a meeting and say, look at what I did, And I remember years ago, I was told to me, anything that you do for somebody should be between you, that person, and God.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
If you got to go boast about what you do, then your motives are all fucked up, And I think about our Joe. His intentions are so pure.
We'll never be him.
So never. But I think like you touched on it earlier, like I used to help because I wanted to shine.
Right.
Oh, so look at what that guy is doing for people. And today when I do something, it's purely only just because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
I'm not curing anybody. I'm not fixing anybody. At best, I'm giving you a tiny example of maybe how to be different. That's all I can bring to the table anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm just another bozo on the bus. I think that the longer we stick around, well, I guess I'll just say for myself, I learned that the smarter I get, the less I know, right? Because I used to think, oh man,
I know it.
I'll fix you, bro. Just listen to me for a little while. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll fix your whole shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm living in a fucking dumpster, and I'm going down the hill on fire, But I still think I got it together. And though, man, I can remember even, like I said, every time I would come back, I learned a little more.
Yeah.
I needed to go back out there, but I learned a little more. And even being out there, like I didn't belong there no more. I was trying to do some of these things out there. And there's no place for that, right? Because now you're...
Bro, you ever sit in a crack house and try to talk about... I was like, what are we fucking doing over here? We're just wasting time till the dealer shows back up. That's all we're doing.
I'm trying to pretend like you give a fuck. But,
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I think that, what I say, the less you think about yourself, the more you can think about someone else.
Right.
And the more you think about someone else, the less you think about yourself. It's only then can I grow.
Yeah.
If I'm so consumed with me, myself, and I, how is there ever room for growth? You know?
I have a motivational door at what, I use all these little things that I get sent on a daily basis, and shout out to my friend Jimmy. He's had this text thread going for, I don't know, since I've been sober, and every day I get something. He shares pieces from other people, and I put them on my door, and one of them I put on there was humility, and it's being teachable despite what you think you already know, and that is,
Boom.
And the more you grow, the more you progress in this recovery. Yeah, the less I do know, man, I can learn something from everybody. And I was talking with a kid, Wednesday night kid, another gentleman, who was part of that crew. It was like their first couple days in there, and man, this dude's anxiety was through the roof, and he was feeling it, the uncertainty of what was going to happen and what was going on in his life. And man, for a minute there, I just sat, I listened and I let him talk, and then I just sat there for a minute, just to chill and I know what you're going through, man. I get it. But listen, it won't always be like this. It won't always be like this. What will make it worse is drinking over it.
Yeah.
That will guarantee to make things worse.
Doing more of what brought you here.
Yeah.
That's because that's where it's comfy. It's nice and comfy and warm there. Even though it isn't, that's all we know. I don't know anything else. That's the devil you know, man. My brain adaptation is my brain telling me this is the solution, and I am buying it. What does Dave say? Half of my brain produces shit, and the other half buys it. You know what I mean? I love what he shares. He has some good one-liners. Like, if I could drink all, what? He's like, if I could
social drinker, I drink all day.
All day, every day. I love it, man, and that's the truth. Dude, sometimes when the topic of relapse or thoughts of relapse come up, I'm like thinking, I don't even know how to think about a drink like a normal person would think about a drink. I don't say, God, I wish I could have one or two. I go, damn, I wish I could drink a case with a bottle of Jack. You know what I mean? Like, I'm smashed already, and I haven't even done anything. I just think about relapse. I'm like, case of beer, pint, maybe two, Jack Daniels, couple joints, one hit of crack.
Yeah, a pint.
Just one hit of crack.
One to level out.
Yeah.
I can't even think right.
Yeah.
I can't even relapse right in my head, man.
Well, it came up the other night. Wasn't it the other night someone talked about we paint the picture of the relapse?
Bubba.
What's Bubba? That's right. Shout out to Bubba.
Shout out to Bubba.
You know, we don't go to the. This is the best. I went to a wedding one time and I had a white fucking suit.
Nice.
Of course you did.
Okay. So listen, I get there, my dealer's old lady's there at the wedding. I took the card that I had the money in and I opened it up. And they didn't get no gift. I got a gift. They didn't even get the card. I threw the card in the garbage. No, open bar. I got to the wedding with a white suit. I came home. It was black. I was breakdancing on the floor by the end of the night. I'm rolling around. It's a mess.
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah.
I don't think of that relapse, though.
No.
Like,
You think of what a nice white suit I had. I had a great time.
No. Right to the shit. That's where I go.
Do you guys ever admire bathrooms? Like, you go to a bathroom, you're like, come on, shit, this would be a nice bathroom to fucking get high in.
Dude, it's constant. It's constant. You know where I get that all the time? If I ever come to your shop through Thomason Avenue, if I stay on coming from Thomason, if I stay on Thomason Avenue all the way from back there, and the quarries back there, and I'm like, and I used to drive that road and get high all the time, and I'm like, why didn't I never go behind those big pile of rocks? Nobody would have ever found me. Every time I go there, a good place to get high right there. That perfect place. I couldn't stay still after I blew out my first hit. But I'm like, park here. We're going to park here all night long.
Yeah.
Yo, we got to go. We got to get out of here.
We gotta go.
Get the fuck. Cops are coming, dude.
Yep.
crazy, dude.
You know, I used to go in here and still can't figure out how I used to go sit in the car washes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
Bro, she's like, what kind of cop would think you're washing your car at 2 a.m.? I said, I don't know, bro. I used to be up in there.
But they do. People wash their car. Maybe they're getting high. Now that I think about it. Yeah, who does wash their car at 2 a.m.? I couldn't stay still, dude. I could not stay still, dude. I was always on the run. Run. I remember being in Hamilton Park and the trails out there.
Oh, yeah.
And in the middle of fall is the worst time, especially when you're peering there. The leaves make noise, right?
Everything makes
So I'm
noise.
thinking, I'm top speed, dude. Turn this way, running. Dude, the next day, I got scratches all over my face. I'm like, what the fuck happened to me? I couldn't remember. I'm just going by branches or just scratching me in my... Dude, I'm slashed all over my face, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to my face? I'm running
my
from
God.
nothing. Top speed, dude, looking backwards.
My next one time got that shit in it.
Oh, man, dude. It's insanity, dude. It's totally insanity. So I'm never going to do that again. Never going to do that again.
Yeah.
As soon as I get $20 on my hand, I was slapping.
I used to go to bars with my friends, and I'd go to the bar just so that they would get loose enough to be willing to throw down on a bag. I'm like, all right, you guys ready now? And they're like, Jesus Christ, man, we just got there. I was like, oh, okay.
used to have those friends,
But
yeah.
then,
Come on, do another shot, man.
yeah,
Do another
have
shot.
another one. We'll do another one. But then I would get so fucking tweaked in the bathroom. I'd be coming out to the bar and be like, I couldn't even talk to ask for a drink. Like, and it was so normal.
Yeah,
You know, it was just, that's what happened. Oh, Ace is out. That's
There's
what they
no
call
fun
me.
there.
Ace.
We're not having any
Ace.
fun, dude. We're not having any fun. There's no fun.
No.
There's
But
no
you can't
fun.
wait to do it again.
Because it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a great time. I remember one night getting the formula. I found it. I finally found the formula where I could actually be social and smoke crack at the same time. It was 3 beers, a shot, run to the bathroom, do a nice big banger, come back out. Don't stay in the bathroom. I remember that night. I found it. I was like sitting there going, wow, I'm just smiling.
Like,
I'm having a great time. I found it. I finally found it.
Say that. I should go back.
I should go back to these meetings and tell everybody I found the secret formula. Yeah, that didn't. It lasted for about an hour, hour and a half. And then I ran out of stuff, and I was like, guys, I got to go. See you later. My formula just ran out. I got to get the hell out of here.
The recipe is gone.
Recipe. Oh, God.
I do remember that. I specifically remember one time in the back of my friend's Dodge Caravan. We called it the Pimp Daddy. We had all the seats taken out. We had bean bags in the back, and we were going somewhere. And I remember doing a blast before wherever we were going, and that was the one time I was like, I feel like Superman. I feel fantastic. This is great.
It's the beanbags.
And and I chased that forever. And I remember I used to think, oh, this is what other people feel like, normal people feel like when they do a blast. You know?
yeah.
Why can't I feel like that? Why am I always chasing the next one?
You ever see that guy who does the blast and can just hang out for an hour?
Yeah, so weird.
And just converse with people. And I'm over there tugging on him like, dude, come on, let's go do it. He's got it on him. You know, I don't have any shit.
Yeah, of course. We got none left.
Like, oh, hold on, relax, have a good time. I'm like, go.
Yeah, I could still move my jaw.
Tugging on him. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just tugging on his
I'm
pinky.
starting to fucking fight.
Yeah. Let me just get one. I'll just go somewhere else and leave you alone.
Service work, brother.
Service work,
Service
man.
work.
Service work.
All right, let's get into that
So-
time.
Yeah, it is that time, man. We're gonna get into the one time, bro. But again, I just want to remind everybody, thank everybody again for sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting. Love the comments. Excuse me. And
listening.
and we love the feedback. If you have suggestions, throw them out there. If you want to hear a certain topic, you want us to talk about a certain topic, throw it at us. We're down.
Yeah.
We're very open-minded people most times.
Yeah.
Most times. So tonight's One Time Bro is sponsored by me. And I love the One Time Bro. So one time, I'm going to talk about a time where the courts actually made me plead guilty, like talked me into it. They talked me into pleading guilty this time.
Bamboozled you.
They bamboozled me real good. So I meet this kid, and I befriended him. He loved me. I liked him. He was a good kid. He brought me into his apartment, and he's showing me all this stuff he has. collectors.
Oh, boy.
Larry Bird rookie card. He's just going on and on. His remote control for his PlayStation cordless. Now it's like, geez, he's got an amplifier bass. He's got rolls and rolls and rolls of change, quarters, dimes, nickels. Like, I mean, this has to be at least a $2,000 score, easy. And the first time I'm in his house, I'm like, how am I gonna get this dude shit? How am I gonna get this dude shit? So I figured it out. I'm going to pick him up. He used to drink a lot. The kid would get sloppy drunk. So I pick him up. I bring him to a bar. I have no money. Bring him to a bar. This is a pretty wild one. Okay, so the kid used to get pretty sloppy drunk. So I said, I'm going to take him out to the bar. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to go to this bar that's right around the corner from his house. My wife was pregnant at the time, my ex-wife, with our second kid. I bring him to the bar. I pretend like I get a phone call from her. I said, oh, it's my wife. I'll be right back. Go out the back of the bar. As soon as that door closes, I book to my car, run to his house, boom, kick his door in, start bringing everything out. TV. I'm wiping them out. Right before I get the last couple things in the car, I go, hey, Matt. I hear, hey, man, what's going on? His neighbor is watching me the whole entire time. Didn't say shit till the very last thing. He's like, is that him? I was like, yeah, he's passed out drunk. He's letting me use his TV and his bass. And he was like, oh, okay, man. So I run back to the bar. This kid goes, shit, I said his name. I shouldn't have said it. But anyway, he's like, yo, where the hell you been? I walked outside. I was like, yeah, I kept walking around. My wife, I was like, yeah, I kind of got to go. She's a little mad that I'm here. So we drive him back to his house. He's like, come in and have one beer, man. I'm like, nah, I got to go. And he looks at I don't know what made him do this. He looks at my gas gauge. He goes, dude, you don't have any gas. You got to stop and put gas in. I said, yeah. He's like, let me give you some gas money. Come on, come in my house. I'll give you a couple of rolls of quarters. I'm like, no. It's fine.
I got all the quarters.
I got him in the backseat. Don't worry.
The dude turns my car off and takes my keys and starts walking. He's like, come on, bro. I'm like, oh, my God, what the fuck? This dude, so hammered, walks right through his open door and can't find a light switch. He's fucking... So I'm like, Adam, just give me my keys. I gotta go. He turns on the light and he's still looking for these rolls of quarters on his kitchen table. He doesn't notice there's nothing on his wall, no TV, no nothing, right? So I'm like getting nervous as hell because I know the neighbor saw me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I gotta go. And she's like, wait a minute. He's like, what the hell happened to my TV? Where's my PlayStation? I'm like, oh my God, dude, you got robbed. I'm like, dude, you need to call the police. And he's bumbling around. I was like, listen, I'll call the police. Give me your phone. I call 911. I'm like, yo, my friend got robbed. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, they're on their way. Adam, I got to go, though. My wife, he was like, all right, man. You know, I was like, dude, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Boom, I jump in my car. Boom, I'm on the highway. I start calling dealers. I'm like, got TVs. I got this. I got that. Rookie cards with the swatches, official, authenticated, whatever the hell you call it. So I'm booking. I get a phone call. I'm like, I don't know this number, but I called so many people. I'm like, hello? Is this Mr.? I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh, this is Sergeant whatever from the police department. I said, how can I help you? He goes, we need you to come back to Mr. What's in so-and-so's house. I was like, for what? He was like, well, I just need you to come back because he said you were with him and he was robbed and I need you to come back here. I need you to come back right now. And I said, listen, I'm on my way. Whatever I can do to help. Boom, I get off the highway. I start unloading everything near the bushes. Boom, I'm all right. I get back there. Soon as I pull in, they're like, open the trunk. I said, what do you mean open the trunk? For what? What do you need to open my trunk? What do you got? I'm like, Adam, what the hell's going on over here? He's like, I don't know, dude. He's like, everybody seems to think you did it. And I'm trying to tell him you were at the bar with me. I'm like, yeah, I was at the bar with him. They popped the trunk. Nothing's in the car. It's like, so I don't understand what's going on here. They're like, the neighbor said that he saw you, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, the neighbor said, huh?
Oh, likely story.
Oh, did you check to see if the neighbor has shit in his house? Did you check that you didn't do your job properly, officer? I'm talking all this shit.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to come down to the police station, fill out a report. I said, not a problem. Went out, fill out a report. Boom, I'm home. I unloaded all this shit, right? Now, 3 days later, I get a call from this detective. And he goes, yeah, we need you to come back down, and we need you to fill out another report. I said, what do you need me to fill out another report for? He goes, I just need you to come back down and fill out another report. I said, well, I'll tell you what. make a copy of my first report. I was like, go fuck yourself. I ain't coming down nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. He's like, we know you did it, and I'm going to put a warrant out for your arrest. I was like, bro, you don't know shit, bro. I was like, you got nothing on me, bro. Go fuck yourself. Okay, I'm working now, right? And I see detectives coming in. I look at my boss, go, I don't feel good. I got to go, and I run out.
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
this went on for like 3 weeks. They would show up, and my boss like, dude, what's going on? What did you do? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know. So sober bowling one night. Mike Wallace is taking me home. And I go, Mike, keep going, dude. Don't drop me off over
Oh,
here.
I remember this part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's cops. I'm like, he's like, I'm like, it's the fucking cops, please. So he drops me off. I go back inside. You guys know a lot of the rest of the story. They're knocking. I'm trying to be quiet. She lets them in. They tackle her to the ground. They throw my pregnant wife to the ground, pull my 4, almost 5-year-old son out of bed, throw him to the ground, 9mm and a flashlight in his face. I wonder why he doesn't like the cops, right? I see this. I turn around. I jump on top of the cop. They mace me. They tase me, all that stuff. They finally get me downtown, and I'm like, you're a piece of shit. To the detective, I'm like, why don't you pull it over? We'll sell it outside the car. And you're a piece of shit. You got nothing on me. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, how the fuck did they get me, though? Like, how did they get me? So Mike Wallace helps my dad. They bail me out that night. I get a phone call the next day, like, bro, from the drug dealer. He's like, I think I fucked you up. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, I had a fucking phone call from somebody asking me about that TV you sold me. And I said, yeah, I got the TV. You got to buy it back. I was like, yo, you fucking dined me out. It was the cops got my phone, looked at all the records of my phone, and started calling everybody I called that night. They got me for everything. So now I have a burglary. Okay. All right. So
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
moral of the story, I got a burglary. So I'm like, not guilty, because they couldn't find any of the stuff. Nobody was giving it back, nothing. The rookie cards, all that stuff, that's a whole nother story. They come to me with my charges. Larceny, first degree, breaking and entering, first degree, home invasion, mandatory.
No one was home. How they give you a home invasion?
How do you think they got me to plead guilty? When they came at me with that 10-year mandatory, I said, guilty as charged. I broke in his house. I took all that shit. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. They got me to plead. I've never pleaded guilty. I pleaded guilty with no contest, but I've never been like, I did it. I absolutely did it. 100%. I knew he wasn't home. I planned the whole thing out. I was saying like a canary. I ratted my own shit out. Wow. And, it was unfortunate because that kid was a good kid, man. Yeah. He still is a good person. Made my amends with him, the restitution, all that stuff. You know what I mean? But Jesus, man, the shit that we do, man. You know what I mean? The shit we do. And here's consequences of my action for years and years. My son still to this day won't go ask a cop for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's a butterfly effect you were talking about, you know? The ripple
He's still
effect.
scared. And do you blame him? You know what I mean? His first experience with an officer of the law is throwing him out of bed, pointing a 9mm and a flashlight to his fucking face. My son was bugging out.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
You know, but yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I think about all these things. I'm like, Jesus, man, thank God I got sober. Yeah. Because, man, we could just continue to.
That would have just got worse and worse and worse.
So that was my one time, bro.
The thing that's crazy when we're doing this bits of insanity, while we're doing it, you literally think, this is exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
This was a great plan I had, man. And nobody's going to get hurt.
No.
And nobody's going to
get
hurt.
And I'm going to get away with it.
That's funny when the people talk about tasers. That is the first and only time I've ever been tased. And I didn't even know I was getting tased till I got maced. Once they hit me with the mace, I was like, it got real. Dude, because I saw red when they were on, when they threw my wife to the ground. I was like, I was on top of the cop. They were like, nothing. I'm like, oh, that. I was like, yeah, none of those things are fun.
Oh, well, thank you, Dino, for that one time, bro.
One time I pleaded guilty on purpose. So anyway, guys, Episode 10.
In the bag.
Double digits, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
beautiful. Like, love, subscribe, share, comment, suggestions. Guys, thank you again. This was an awesome one. And what else could I say but thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Just try
around.
I think crap.
again.
We need the
But it is true.
Yeah.
You're a person.
Yeah.
Confession. And it's true.